Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Run and Code Humor in South Texas Law Enforcement. I'm your host, T-Bone, along with me, my partner, J-Man. J-Man, how you doing?
Doing real good.
And today we have an extra special guest today. This is my son, Blackjack. He's joining us today for this episode, and we're going to get to question him because I think it's important to get his generation's take on things. So, Blackjack, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
You excited to be here?
Oh, I'm very excited. I've been a long-time listener, very unbiased listener, though, so I have some very nuanced takes.
I like
There
that.
you go.
I like that. That's kind of what we're looking for. So, Blackjack here is a college student, and I think it's important to listen to that generation's thoughts on things and see what they're thinking and their thought process is, because they're exposed to social media far more than we are, and they're around other college students who have wildly differing ranges of opinions.
Yep.
From everything from Trump is the devil to Trump is the greatest, and they get that from parents first, and then they might get
Social
radicalized by social media. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you're not a giant social media person, which I appreciate as your parent. So I do appreciate that, because I'd rather use your brain and not what social media tells you is okay and right.
Well, I use my brain quite a lot for college already, so, asking a lot of me here.
Well, I figured this will be easy compared to the class loads you're taking. So you are in electrical engineering, which
yes.
needs brain juice. So where you got that from, it wasn't me. So we'll thank your mother later. So you go to a major university here in South Texas, a large one, a big one, that has a wildly differing view of students and their opinions and their views.
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah.
you've heard them all from every range.
Oh, yeah.
Now, considering that we are a law enforcement show, though, I want to know, what do you hear from fellow students about law enforcement? Like, tell me some of the things you hear from them, whether good, bad, horribly stupid, common sense, like anything you just hear from them. Like, what kind of things do you hear from students about law enforcement?
Mainly how to avoid them, just like a buddy of mine, he was telling me about his brother who would do 100 down the highway and whatnot, and how after he got his first ticket, he got this it's like a little transmitter thing to detect whenever the police were nearby. So
Like Waze? Like an app?
no, it was like this I don't
Oh,
know
we're talking
exactly. It was
about
like some big box thing.
Oh, radar detector.
Yeah, radar detector. And so so usually just stuff like that, hide the weed and all that stuff. You know.
So
Fun-
let me
Yeah.
explain how those work actually while we're...
Fun fact about the radar detector.
Oh.
It don't work.
It don't work. And that's my fun fact.
It don't work.
I can tell you as a radar instructor how radar detectors work. They pick up, you have 3 bands for radar: X band, K band, and KA band. We don't use X band anymore. We don't use K band. We use KA band. Problem is, you're going to pick up all the electrical interference around it. So it's going to go off all the time for no damn reason.
Mm-hmm.
It goes off, especially in a large populated city like we live in. It's going to go off because of the constant electrical crap in the air, radio signals, all that. So those things are pretty much worthless. Not only that, they only work for so many 100 yards, whereas our police radars work for miles. So we see you long before you saw us. By the time that thing starts chirping, we already locked your speed.
Yep.
So it sounds great in theory. Unless I'm coming directly behind you running it, you're not going to get anything out of it. You just wasted your money, because the companies that make our radars make those radar detectors, and they gave us the edge.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's professional ones you can buy that cost thousands that are probably honing in a little better. But the average radar jammer, or not jammer, jammers are illegal as hell. You can't have them. Radar detectors, they're low end. They're going to be $50, $75, and they're going to pick up every stray KA band signal there is in the area. And K band, because some of them, they don't do anything with X band anymore. It's K band and KA band. We use KA band. Some still use K band. X band's long gone, but they'll probably pick up both K and KA band.
Yep.
And they're going to get every K and KA band frequency in the area, and it's just going to drive that thing nuts. You're not going to get anything out of it.
Yep.
So, but that's good. So at your university, cops bad, cops good.
Fairly neutral. There's not too much discussion here, and part of it is that because I'm in engineering, a lot of the people I talk to are engineering, and I think
True.
as a whole, generally, that's a lot more moderate, a
True.
bit conservative.
True.
Like in my in one of my old dorms, it was a lot more mixed. I got a lot more variety of majors, so that's where you got a lot more of the liberal views and whatnot. More left, and I don't necessarily have a problem with it. The main issue though is that it becomes this sort of just it gets too far. I literally I may be paraphrasing it, but they were like, "Oh, I don't think anyone here is conservative because you have to be smart to be in college." Just stuff like that. Was basically just "Oh, we're." If you're right.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, but
Shots fired.
I mean, I'll look, whatever. But that's actually fantastic. Yeah. That kind of sounds like what it was when I went to college.
Yeah. And you were in a very liberal area.
I was.
Yeah. So It's funny you say that because I've heard that before. Like, oh, cops, are only cops because they couldn't get degrees. We have 4 doctorates in my agency, probably about 50 masters in my agency, and a shit ton of bachelors in my agency. So maybe some people actually do this job because they believe in law and order versus, just education. I don't know. That's
Got to be smart.
Well, some of the people at my college, education isn't necessarily the main goal either.
true. I mean, I majored in things other than school, and that's why I didn't finish it because I majored in other fun things. So, yeah. So let me ask you something, though. Let me ask your take on. So college students do tend to be more liberal because, as the saying goes, when you're young, you're liberal. When you're older, you're conservative. And that's because you get exposed to the real world when you get out of college. And, you realize it's not quite what you thought it was in college.
There's also a large Latin American group here. So I think, obviously, that also makes it so that deportation and whatnot is significantly less popular.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, what are you hearing about that on your campus in terms of ICE and the deportations?
So actually, it's funny. I think I already told you the story, but a while back, these people came knocking on my door, literally asking about that. Like some guy and a girl were like, "Hey, what do you think of ICE doing?" And they showed me this little pamphlet that I think had Lenin on it, actually.
Of course it did. Vladimir Lenin.
Lenin?
So,
Vladimir Lenin, I assume, not John Lennon.
yeah, I didn't really. I didn't feel like getting into an argument with people who looked like walking straw man, so I was just like literally with the blue hair and whatnot, and it's like. Yeah, I don't think this will be a very intelligent discussion, so I was just like, no, thank you. But
how I'm trying to it was based off of which I know it's limited information, but Lenin and immigration, I'm trying to see where they intersect.
Well, I think it was probably just more so just a general, just both anti-immigration, but also just anti-capitalism. I imagine that's probably what it was. Once again, I didn't want to entertain them for a bit.
Damn near Lenin was damn near anti people.
Yeah, no, he was anti-humanity.
I could be wrong about it. It wasn't a super clear image. It was more of a silhouette. But I think.
Oh, a silhouette of Lenin. Oh, so
okay.
Let's take that disrespect off his name. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was just a silhouette.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was actually seeing something completely different. So apologies if those two people on the incredibly off chance you're watching this.
I'm pretty sure it was Lenin. Yeah. What cracks me up is that mindset is. They don't want to be capitalists. Capitalism is wrong. Capitalism is wrong. Okay, that's great. Then why do you have money?
Yeah.
Okay, and then how come you don't give your money to someone else if you don't believe in capitalism? But go and ask one of these college or socialists, because they won't say communists. They'll say socialists, but it's the same shit. Ask them, hey, can you just give me some money then? You got more money than I do, so give me some of your money. They're probably not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Capitalism, you get what you earn. If you have, say, 2 PhDs from MIT and some private corporation hires you, they're going to pay you good salary because you've earned it by virtue of your degrees and your training, your hard work. They're not going to bring in somebody who flunked out of associates, an AA degree, and pay them the same money because they haven't earned it. So this society, communism, socialism do not work. You cannot pay a neurosurgeon the same you pay a janitor. You can't.
Yeah.
Okay, it's performance-based pay. And if you're working on someone's brain, that requires far more skill than a janitor. Now, I'm not saying anything negative about janitors. It's an honest living, and I'll take an honest living any day over an illegal living.
Oh, good. We keep the janitor viewers then.
Yeah, keep our janitor viewers, the ones that listen to us while they're cleaning. But no janitor can look me in the eye and say they deserve the same pay as a neurosurgeon.
Oh, you're not with the proletariat.
Apparently not.
How dare you?
Apparently not. I believe in performance-based pay. I believe you get what you earn. That's the capitalist in me. I'm very much into the capitalist system because this is one of the greatest countries on earth where you can come from nothing and be a billionaire, but you can also go from a billionaire to nothing. It's strictly on you. They don't care about race, gender, religion, nothing. What can you do? And we have people that, those rags to riches stories. They came from nothing and were billionaires. Yeah. Jeff Bezos being one of them. He was nothing. And he's one of the richest men on the planet. I'm sure he's up there.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs. These are guys that were nothing and became billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is one of the few countries on earth, aside from Western Europe, where you can go from nothing to something, but you can go right back the other direction again too. Other countries, you're stuck where you were born. It's a case system. You're stuck where you're born. You were stuck at the lowest level, and that's where you're stuck. Unless some princess falls in love with you, and all of a sudden elevates you, marries you like some Disney movie. Probably shouldn't have said Disney because now we'll get the whole shit shut off.
Oh yeah. Wisney,
Wisney,
copyright free.
Disney Day.
The mouse ears
Oh yeah.
So in this country, it doesn't matter. Your parents can be felons and druggies, and you can still be a billionaire.
Yeah.
You're not defined by your parental lineage. You're
Yeah.
defined by what you do. And communism does not work that way. Socialism does not work that way. Socialism is they want everyone paid the same, no matter what level of skill or no matter what level of work you do. That doesn't work because when you do that, there is no incentive to work harder. There is no incentive to improve. Why would I want to be anything more than a janitor, which is as an example? If I'm going to get the same pay as a guy who went to school for 8 years and then internship for a year and residency for 8 years and then got his fellowship, and why would I work all that hard if I'm going to get the same pay as the guy sweeping the floor?
That's where the social aspect of it is, and you get a lot of class division. So those jobs will go to certain groups of people on a social hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it would be.
And
so they wouldn't be doing
like
it.
Desirables and undesirables.
Yeah,
that's what it would be broken down to.
And it wouldn't be based on your actual skill level, which is dangerous. If you're working on my brain, I would like you to do this job because you have passion for it, you're good at it, you earned it.
Oh, you're gonna be good at it. You're gonna go to like a re-education camp.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like you better be good at it.
And there's that too, and that's actually.
There's also hoping that whoever's doing it didn't use AI to get going through college.
And that AI shit scares me. So off topic, real quick. So they're starting to use that more in law enforcement. Is that AI to write reports based off body camera?
Actually, that would make a really good episode idea.
Well, I need to do more research on it before I do that because I don't like it. I tested it for funsies the other day. Just let me take a look at it. And I clicked one of my body camera footages from an interview I did with a suspect, and I hit draft and let it. And it was actually really accurate. I mean, it was very accurate, but I still don't like it because cops are lazy by nature. What is the easiest, fastest way I can do this so I can move on to the next thing?
Path of least resistance.
That's exactly it. That's how humans work. We have to take path of least resistance. Well, the problem with that is if you don't actually, the first couple of reports that it does that, you're going to read them over thoroughly. But then after a while, it's gotten it right every time, so I don't have to look it over anymore. And then it's way wrong, and it goes to a trial, and it's a major case. And then you're explaining why you signed this report when it's inaccurate.
Then there could be the issue of like you didn't create it. You used an algorithm, a program.
Well,
software.
So there is a statement you have to put at the bottom of any AI-generated report in law enforcement that says this was AI-generated.
That just sounds bad.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just don't.
If I was a juror and
I would use it to record the statement the suspect made. What did he say? This is what he said. And that's fine because it goes word for word for word, exactly what he said. Even then, you got to watch it real carefully and go, oh, no, he didn't say zebras. You got to be real careful.
Yeah.
So I'm a little uncomfortable with AI, and I don't think it's a great idea. I think it's going to make officers be more lazy because instead of actually having to write a report and think about what they're putting down, they just click draft and let it do it for it and go, that's my report, and I didn't read it. And then you're missing crap because it will tell you to insert certain things.
Yep.
Like insert the date, insert the street, insert. And if you don't, you just leave it like that, and then you turn that in. Defense attorney's going to be like, oh, this is going to be easy. And you may have just killed the case because you're being lazy. So that's the problem I have with it. That's the issue I've got with it. So in terms of, you're on you're a major college campus. Now, it's not like the 60s where everybody's walking around, doing every kind of drug known to man. No one gave a shit. But what do your fellow college students say about, say, legalizing marijuana? I know you hear about it.
Honestly, I really don't. Once again, it's like mostly engineering students, so it's like we're not exactly party animals hitting the club every weekend.
That's why I'm happy you're in that program. I don't have to worry about that. The only thing open after 10 o'clock at night is jails, hospitals, and legs. So I'm really happy that you stay in your fucking dorm. So I appreciate that because I don't have to worry about getting a call from the booking sergeant, the hospital, or or the morgue.
I hate to break it to all our viewers, but I'm not a party animal. I'm like this guy. I'm not hitting the club.
You know what? Nothing good happens in the damn club. I'm telling you right now. Again, what's open after midnight? Hospitals, jails, and legs. Ain't no so we can land you at the morgue. So, but I like that. But that's true because the group of people you're around are more the brainiac. They're here. Yeah. They take it serious. They're trying to get serious degrees, bachelor's, master's, PhDs, and a serious subject that you'll be paid very handsomely for it. Yeah. That the rewards are there because you're doing the hard work to get it instead of getting some underwater basket weaving degree or African studies. Nothing wrong with it, but there's not a career in that.
Well, of course, you can teach
unless you're going to be a professor of it, so you don't have any real world. Everything is theoretical knowledge. You finish your PhD, do your postdoc, and then you go right into a university as an instructor. But where is your real world experience?
Yeah, well, it's a pyramid scheme. Your entire profession is just training other people to be in your profession.
Well, and that's exactly it. Yeah. Now, if you did a say, a PhD in African studies and then went and lived in Africa, you have now gained credibility because you actually went and lived in Africa, saw the different cultures, saw the different countries, Ghana, Nigeria, all those, and actually now actually can speak to not just theoretical knowledge out of a book, but you lived there.
Yeah.
Now that has credibility.
Yeah.
But this whole, I got my postdoc and then I immediately went and became a professor at Stanford at 27 years old. What? There's no, you're not gonna hear anybody making millions as a professor in that. Okay, but you never know. Electrical engineering, you're always gonna need engineers. You have to have them. You just have to.
Yep.
And they're not gonna go away. So, and as technology gets better, you have to obviously get more proficient in the new technologies and stuff like that. That's going to make you more valuable. So I kind of equate that to trades. There's nothing wrong with a trade. Welders, plumbers.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to clean out crappers. That's why they pay plumbers $2,000 to do that crap because nobody else wants to do it. Welders, if you master all the different types of welding, there's a reason welders can make about 40, 50 grand a month. There's a reason for that because nobody else wants to do it and they're not skilled enough to do it. Carpenters.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't build a house. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not an architect. I don't know what does what to make it brace and not fall down. That's not my world, but an architect does.
Right.
So when you get into what you're doing, engineering, electrical engineering, stuff like that, yeah, you're valuable. And you could go work for Tesla, NASA. There's a whole bunch of things you can do with that degree that would pay you good money, be a stable income. You're not having to worry about your next paycheck. Companies that will take you and give you a work car and say, this is your work vehicle, here's your work cell phone. We'll pay you to relocate because you put in the hard work.
Yeah.
So as I tell you, at least get a master's. If you can get a PhD in it, you never have to work hard, ever.
Yeah.
You pretty much supervise people that do this crap, and you'll get the big dollars. That's kind of how that works. That's why socialism does not work. It doesn't work. There's no incentive to work harder if you're going to get paid the same as the next guy who did nothing. You're just not.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the issues you see in law enforcement is you got the proactive officers who bust their ass all shift long. You got the lazy fuck that doesn't do anything. They're both getting paid the same.
Oh, maybe that's why.
And then the proactive officers start going, you know what? Fuck this. He didn't move for 8 hours. I busted my ass. No one gives a shit what I did. Oh, I got an IA write-up because I gave one guy an extra chingazo. I gave him a distractor to the face, if you want to put it that way. And this guy did nothing, got paid the same, and doesn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there should be performance-based pay for law enforcement because then that people arrest people they shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you made quotas. If quotas actually were a thing, and they're not. There are no quotas. I'm tired of hearing that shit. But if you did make quotas, that would cause more problems.
Yeah.
Now people giving tickets for stupid shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's just dumb. So that's the issue. Socialism and capitalism just don't work. They don't jive. They look great on paper. Everybody's equal and everybody gets the same thing. But in the real world, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, that's maybe might be why I don't see too many engineer socialists.
Probably not, because they're looking forward to making a good salary and they don't want to share it.
All right, I guess I got a question. Like, I know the most universities, probably anywhere, they in any state have their own police department. So I guess what is I'm just asking you to speak for just in general. What is your overall reception of the police department there?
Just my personal experience, or just...
I guess your personal experience, and I guess
what you've heard about the students.
What you've heard from other students, as far as how is their performance? How do they interact with students? Because I know they have to approach them differently than just someone on the street. Because if they affect the students too negatively, it affects the bottom line. Parents get involved, and there has to be a change. Yeah. So how does the university police department kind of how do you see it as? How do you view it?
You really only interact with them when you actually did do something, where there actually is something going on. You don't really see them on campus. They aren't just bumming around keeping an eye out. It's not on the streets where they're just
really.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm just an observer. I'm not exactly the most observant eagle in the flock, but
I'd like you to work on that.
Well, I digress. But anyhow, but yeah. So I don't really. So you don't really see them and whatnot. You only see them if and obviously when they do show up, it's a big scene. If there's some incident going on. Someone got hurt. Someone got busted for drugs or whatnot.
That's probably usually what I hear. What I hear, that's usually the biggest reason that
Drugs.
that those university officers get involved is drugs. A dorm raid or a room raid or something like that. Well, have you heard any stories from other students about their negative or positive interactions? We can do positive too.
Yeah.
No, from what I've seen, they seem to be pretty professional. You know, like I've seen them a few times, like in my old dorms and whatnot. You know, when they come to like do something, but it's usually just like a quick like in and out. Like you'll see them a bit, and they just like go by. You know, just stay out of their way, and they'll stay out of yours. No fuss, no muss.
No, that's usually how it should be, and that's usually going to cause less problems if it actually works that way. Then no problems. That's how it's supposed to be. Oh, that's good. I was kind of curious about that because, again, the group of scholars you're running with aren't typically the ones that get in trouble with law enforcement. They typically aren't. Yours are the ones that stay in their dorm room studying until 1 a.m. You know, that keeps you out of more trouble than anything else in the world is studying.
And I will say, to go back to what you mentioned about drugs, the two I will hear, one of them when it comes to studying is like drugs to help keep you awake.
Oh, Adderall.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ambien to sleep, Adderall to stay awake and study.
Yeah, and then also weed.
Yeah, well, weed's not going to help you stay awake.
Yeah.
Well, once again, completely different, but just a general thing. That's what I hear about. If there's any more drugs, no one's telling me. So
I do want to bring this up. Remember Michael Phelps?
Yeah.
Okay. He won what? He broke like 8 world records, won 9 gold medals, and he was on marijuana. That's actually kind of impressive. I want to know how fast he'd have swam without marijuana. If the man broke 8 world records and got 9 gold medals in the Olympics in swimming while high, I want to know just how fast he would have been without it.
And that's part of the challenge. Maybe he thought it'd be too easy.
That actually handicapped his ass, and he still won. So, but you have different strains from what I hear, and I've talked to potheads before, and they tell you this strain actually will give you energy and keep you awake. I'm like, doesn't that do the opposite of what marijuana like mellows you out, makes you tired, and okay, whatever. Like, oh yeah, this strain mixed with this strain, you'll stay awake and you'll have energy and you'll be able to focus. I'm like, it doesn't sound like marijuana anymore. Because the marijuana I've heard about, and I've never smoked it because I liked beer and cigarettes. I never was a pothead. But
you can only have so many addictions.
You can only have so many addictions. I got cigarettes. I don't have beer anymore. I just got cigarettes. But is how like the whole purpose of marijuana was to mellow you out, and you're gonna smoke a marijuana, but it keeps you awake and alert. I'm like, it kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's just me. That's just me.
It wasn't my experience.
It wasn't. Yeah. See, I never smoked it. You would know better than I would. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
and I'm pretty sure Blackjack here hasn't smoked it.
For legal reasons, I have not done any narcotics. Don't do drugs, kids.
That's good advice.
In front of witnesses.
And don't forget your mom's probably gonna watch this. So.
Hey, Mom.
In fact, I'll make sure to send her the clip. Well, I never worried about that with you because you don't have an addictive personality, and 2, you never really were into that. You were the kind that if you didn't want to do it, no one was going to make you do it. And that's exactly what I prefer in a young man is if I don't want to do it, you ain't going to make me. I don't care if you think I'm cool or not.
Yeah.
Because it's very dangerous to have that. Well, if you don't do it, you're not cool. Okay, I'll do it. And they get hurt. Yeah. Or they end up in jail. Or they end up dead because they're cool.
Yeah, I don't want. It's kind of hard to do school in jail, so.
It can be in prison, state will pay to go to college while you're in prison, but you're not going to do anything with that degree. So kind of a waste of time to keep your mind occupied so you don't get shanked or screwed by your celly. So I just find it interesting because your generation obviously is different than my generation. There's my generation, his generation, your generation. We're 3 different generations here in this room. I was born in the 70s, you're born in the 90s, and you're born in the 2000s. So we're 3 different generations of thought process and then the areas we're raised in. You're raised in a very liberal, very violent, very dangerous city. Yeah. I was raised in a violent city as well, but it wasn't as bad back in the 80s and 90s. It really wasn't to the level it is now. And I was in California. And for those that, I'm a Texan. So I don't want to, I'm not a fucking Californian. Gavin Newsom can kiss my wrinkly fucking balloon knot. And then you were born in the early 2000s. So it's 3 different generational thoughts and 3 different thought processes. Now, you and I jive on a lot of the same things because we're in law enforcement. So we see a lot of things from that lens, that perspective. So that's why I wanted you here to get your take. You're a college student who, as a civilian, who's not law enforcement trained, who goes to a large university surrounded by 10,000 other students who come from 10,000 different backgrounds. The problem is that social media runs a lot of what they think. And oh, if it's on social media, it must be true, or I agree with that social media influencer, whatever. And people actually think that's a job. Now, you actually hear people say, I'm a social media influencer. That's not a job.
I mean,
it is kind of is now.
Pay, I mean, it might as
Kind
well
of is
be.
now, yeah.
I guess if you're lucky enough to hit it just right and you end up getting that deal or whatever, but by and large, that is not a job. Get a job, okay? There's medical field, engineering. I won't say arts.
Hey,
I have a hard time saying arts is a fucking job.
Hey, the way
Arts
I see
can
it,
be
if
a
it
job.
pays the bills, it's
Doing
a job.
what? Doing what?
So let's see. Let's say you get a major in art history, museum curator.
Commissions, if you get
Okay.
really good enough.
Okay,
You
but
be a subject matter expert on identifying what is
there's
real
only
and
so
what
many
isn't.
museums.
Maybe you get, maybe you get hired though for a company. You know, maybe making cartoons and whatnot or something.
I guess I don't know. Maybe I come from
It is. Don't get me wrong. It is still like a soft skill. But you really got to draw, like, for stuff like that, you really got to draw it down on, like, what it is that you want to, like, specialize in. I get what you're saying. It's not a hard skill. It's not like it's not a STEM. STEM, any career in STEM, you pretty much got it made, and then you just got to specialize, further education and training in it, and you can find your niche there.
So what's STEM? Science, technology,
Engineering, and math.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Although I will say, I don't think all STEM necessarily is doing so well. Like comp sci right now, it's a very oversaturated major.
Oh,
With
yeah.
AI,
What's comp sci?
computer science.
Computer
Oh,
science.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's become kind of a joke among
Like IT technology.
STEM.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Unless you're getting into cybersecurity as a whole, it's not really comp sci isn't really reliable.
Well, the problem is they're going to start relying on AI too much,
oh, that's already
and
happening.
I know, and it's dangerous. It
You need
really is
someone
because
who's-
you stop using this.
Yeah.
You know, you're still gonna have to have certain jobs where this is what's required to function, not AI. And AI, so far, I mean, it's like when I use it to search for something, I usually get pretty accurate results. As a crash reconstructionist, it actually does help because I could take a fuzzy picture from a closed circuit surveillance and put it in AI and go, "What is this car?" And it's been pretty damn close in identifying a vehicle, make a model for me.
Yeah.
Years, sometimes hit or miss, but usually, oh, that's a Jeep Cherokee. Off a fuzzy where I wasn't quite sure what the model was. So it does have its uses, but relying on it is not a good thing. That is dangerous. And I think we're heading towards where we're going to start relying on AI to do more. And I think that's just a very dangerous path to follow.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents. But
Well, I'm kind of mixed on it too. On one hand, it can still be helpful. Once again, you shouldn't rely on it for your classes, but every now and again, especially if you have to take some stupid class that isn't related to your major, it's nice. But once
I
again,
get they want you to be well-rounded. That's the whole purpose of college is to be well-rounded. That's why you have to take electives that have nothing to do with your job, but it well-rounds you and gives you a little broader view. And I understand that. But you're right. That is kind of annoying when they make you add in something that has absolutely zero to do with your job. They have zero interest in, and you're still expected to get.
yeah, and it'll hurt your GPA if you
And
don't
it'll
do
hurt
well
your
in
GPA if you don't do well.
So it's
So you're like,
I got to spend time, money, and risk my GPA just for, Texas history. Thank God.
I mean, you should know Texas history. Okay.
Texas history is
Remember
actually
the
like
Alamo. That's all I gotta
it's a
say
good
about
class.
that.
Like, I've taken Texas history. I learned a lot.
Colonel Travis, David Crockett.
I'm not even from here, so
not to disrespect history, but if I'm getting into engineering, I don't really want me getting a B in that to hurt my GPA.
True, and and you're right on that.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
getting at.
Knowing who won the battle of San Jacinto should not affect electrical engineering degree.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because that's not what you're going to function. Now, if you're in getting a degree in military history, then yeah, you should know that.
Oh, yeah.
That's important. But or you're getting a degree in Texas history where it's actually specialized in that. But you're right, and I do think sometimes they overdo that where they add these classes that they should offer electives that are similar to your career field that give you some kind of benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of do that with concentrations later on, but there's a lot of ones early on that are just
Because it's just core. It's just core classes.
just
It's just core classes. They want you to know how to do
Yeah.
this and that when it has absolutely nothing to do with it. So yeah, I see that. I see your point, and
Yeah.
that is annoying. Especially when it affects your GPA. Like if you're getting a A+ in every class, but this underwater basket weaving they required you to have, you get a C, and you go from a 4.0 to a 3.9 or whatever. I'm just spitballing there, but
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'd be a little irritated too. Like I have nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with my job. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
Should you know? Obviously, English, math, science, chemistry, basics.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I kind of feel like that's also the point of elementary through high school. That's why you're constantly learning those there.
Well, and I agree. And so that's one thing you're right about. So if you're learning that in high school and you've actually learned it correctly through an actual school with a good teacher and system that actually taught you that, then that's true. But there are some levels to these. There's basic chemistry, there's advanced chemistry, or basic science, about physics, basic physics. So you should know.
But do you need to know
Newton's laws? You should know Newton's laws.
But once again, ideally they'll teach you that in high school. Obviously, ideally.
But you want to go more in depth. So it's like there's a difference between the history taught in elementary school, that's taught in high school, and history taught in college, where you start finding out the truth about certain things that they kept from you in elementary school.
Yeah.
Because you didn't need to know it. As an adult, you might want to know it. But the problem is, these colleges and universities really skew the history now. Like they try to brush away certain things. Like, oh, it didn't happen. It happened. Okay, and it's shameful, but it fucking happened. Okay, we need to own what happened, because if you don't understand history, you'll repeat it. And even people who understand history are repeating it now. It's like, did you learn nothing? But because if you ask now, people think the Holocaust was made up. Like people are swearing that Holocaust actually not happened. They're called Holocaust deniers.
I don't think I've met a single person.
I've met several.
I've only seen it on social media, but that only comes from one demographic of people.
Yeah. Or you have
they acknowledge
the moon landing was faked.
Yeah. So there's people who say the moon landing was actually a TV studio set.
The hundreds of thousands of people who have to be involved in that would not have kept it a secret that long. You know what I mean? There's no way you can keep it a secret that long. Something that magnitude. You can't. There's too many people involved in that.
Yeah.
Like,
obviously the fact that
all right, so the rockets took off from the launch pad at Cape Canaveral with the hundreds of thousands of people watching. How the hell they faked that in 1969?
It was all fake. It was just,
rockets aren't new.
It was all actors.
I'd imagine they're probably like, oh, the rocket didn't actually land on it. Like the actual footage is.
Yeah, they went into orbit.
It's
and
like
landed somewhere else.
They sent up an empty rocket. It did whatever, but the actual moon landing itself was a movie set.
Yeah. So the
They said like some director did it or something. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I've heard
some
that.
famous
too.
director.
So the guy who actually made it possible for us to land on the moon was Werner von Braun, who was a Nazi scientist that we took after the war.
Yeah,
and he's the one who developed the V2 rocket that was so devastating to Britain. And that's where the basis for our rockets came from to get to the moon. Now, back then, that was look, I know you're a Nazi, but we need your knowledge, and we want to beat the Russians to the moon. We'll forgive your indiscretions in the past. Yeah. Help us.
I mean, it happened.
It happened.
Nazis got pardoned. More of the sciencey.
Oh, absolutely, they did. Absolutely,
yeah, scientists and all that.
Because we can't excuse their medical experiments at all. What they did was atrocious and horrible, but a lot of medical knowledge did come from that. Yeah. Now, the way it was gotten was horrible, and that was horrid, and people should not have had to suffer that way. They didn't get a choice. They were going to be put to death anyway. No, that's not okay. But a lot of knowledge did come from it, and so that's why they were able to pardon them. Like, look, you come work for us now.
I just realized something. This video is definitely going to get age restricted because we mentioned the N-word. The Nazi word.
I was kind of thinking that when you said it, I was like,
because
that's kind of a bold thing to say.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because at least for YouTube, perhaps.
Nazis existed.
Not in social media. Not in social media.
The Nazi Party existed from 1937 to 1945. We're not going to deny it happened. It happened. The Third Reich rose and fell, and we made them fall. So I don't give a fuck what these little 20-year-olds want to cry about on social media. They existed. Well, Sorry.
I think it's more so the algorithms, like these social media companies not wanting their sponsors to be associated.
We don't have any sponsors.
Oh, that's right. We don't have a sponsor, so I mean...
So they, again, could kiss my balloon knot.
Oh, man. You got a little social media.
If social media was fair,
if
social media was
we're
fair,
contributing to
but when one more demographic gets a little more leeway than another, like if you're pro pew pew, you're going to get restricted a lot more than someone who's anti pew pew. They're going to get a little broader range and a little more forgiveness. I'm like, no, it's bullshit. And again, you notice I said pew pew. In fact, I had to say that. Just irritates the shit out of me.
I think it's a little late for that.
I said pew pew. But I think that's irritating as hell. So if social media was fair across the board, unbiased, you could, nobody gets censored. That's one thing. But would then come along and go, well, we as a company don't like that, so we're going to kill it. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And that's something Nazis do. I'm sorry, I had to throw that out there.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I love it. I love
this
it.
episode's great, man.
Oh, the one episode I'm a part of.
I know,
Yay!
like the one episode he's
Welcome to
a
your
part
first
of.
and your last.
Wow. I'm so glad I have such an influence on the things
Yes,
around me.
you socially influenced us.
See, I'm putting my mind control powers. Ooh.
We appreciate that.
That's like the.
Give me some of your brains while you're at it so I can leave this fucking job. So that's why I wanted you here. I just kind of wanted to get your take on some things from your generational aspect and your college experience dealing with law enforcement, other students, and what their thought processes were. And again, yours is narrow because you're in engineering, so you're stuck with the nerds and the geeks, which I have nothing wrong with that. Nerds and geeks will run the world.
Yeah,
they're truly going to run the world. You're just going to have knuckle draggers like us to protect you. So we'll protect you while you're fixing the broken shit.
Oh, thank you.
But I wouldn't mind maybe having another, maybe a little more liberal student on to really kind of get their take.
Yeah, because then you get into like more of the nuances, and they'll make things intersect where I probably wouldn't even see it, or I wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah, it wouldn't even come to mind. So I'm not saying my mind can't be changed on certain topics.
Mm-hmm.
You bring me like Charlie Kirk. You be rational, well-spoken, bring me facts.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring me emotion. Don't bring me feelings. Bring me facts. And if I'm wrong and you can show me facts, bring receipts. Bring me receipts. I can change my mind on certain things, and I have over the years because I saw fact.
Yeah.
It wasn't feelings and it wasn't emotion driven. It wasn't feeling driven. It was fact driven. And I'm into facts. Give me facts. Because I know our job works off fact. We work off facts.
Yeah.
You did this. Fact.
Mm-hmm.
Had nothing to do with your race. Fact. We saw you do it. Fact. I don't. Oh, I felt he did it. No. I can prove it. Here's how.
Yeah.
Fact. So that's why when you start bringing feelings and emotions and everything, it's very dangerous because everybody has different ways they feel about things. Everyone has a different emotional output to certain things. And I think it's dangerous to make that a decision-making factor is your emotions.
Right. I mean, you see that a lot in college, just like
I know.
Just like students using like emotion, like make arguments to professor.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I would never do that. I've never tried to leverage that before. But,
And don't
Do they still?
Sarcasm. So.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
I guess.
No, I meant like I actually have. I mean, sometimes you gotta get a little extension on things you may have messed up on.
Whatever gets the A's, Bubba.
Is that still a thing where kind of like students kind of have like little have debates with the professors?
I mean, oh yeah, like they'll go to the. Sometimes it depends because there are some instances like for some professors they're willing to like hear you out on certain things, especially if it's more like open to interpretation for questions.
Okay.
And like actually funny story. I remember a while back for one of my classes, someone completely missed an exam date because he didn't show up to class. He thought it'd be another day. And so he went to the professor. The professor was like, "Wait, so you weren't going to show up to my class anyways?"
I mean, that's the point. I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, he was going to show up anyway. He thought it was another day.
Yeah. But just general stuff like that, just like
how do you argue that?
I remember getting into it with my college professors a few times. No, I don't agree, and here's why: because of X, Y, Z, and we go back and forth. That's college. You're there to learn. You're there to expand your mind.
The exchange of ideas.
Exchange of ideas. That's what it is. I just think that problem is that there's some of this stuff is soaking into university curriculums where that's become an accepted thing to. Oh, I feel this is stunting me emotionally. I can't take this class, or you need to give me the A. No, motherfucker, no. That's how the real world works, and that's the whole purpose of college, to prepare you for the real world. And it doesn't these days, sadly. They don't teach you anything about budgeting, taxes, none of that shit. You get out there the first time, you're like, my first check should have been $1,000. It was $700. What the fuck? Well, yeah, because you're single with no kids. So yeah, you get no withholding. Yeah, sorry, they take it all. And they don't prepare you for that. They don't teach you how student loans work. This student loan thing is one of my biggest grinds my gears. You knew when you took this loan you were going to have to pay it back. They make it clear you have to pay it back, and then they have to start paying it, and they bitch and cry. This should be erased. This student loan should be forgiven. What does that teach you?
To play devil's advocate on it, there's a certain level of like, you're pretty much pressured to go into college. Like that's kind of the way, like, when I was raised, a lot of people are raised are just like, you have to go to college. If you want to be successful in life, you have to go to college.
No.
And so that's why, it's like when their only option is student loans, it's like, well, besides of this, they'll work at a McDonald's. At least that's how
Now,
they're presented. So
They do take advantage of students. They do.
Yeah.
I will agree. They with that student loan shit, these super high APRs, how long does that take? That I do think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
But at the end of the
extra
day,
random fees too, like like textbooks and whatnot. That's like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
But-
pay an extra $100 to get a mandatory textbook.
Yeah, that and the fact that textbooks are all online now, they still shouldn't be $100 for a fucking book that's online.
It's a
and
miscellaneous
reproducible.
fee now.
Yeah.
Or they'll make it required in order to access the website where the homework is in.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I see that. I see that a fair bit these days.
I've had to do that before taking
And
some
that's-
continuing education courses.
see, I didn't have the internet when I went to college in the '90s. Didn't have it. You had to have the textbook and you had to have the right edition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, we stopped using that edition. You got to use the 9th edition. You're like, what's the difference? It's math. You start flipping through them and you don't really see any difference in each page. Like, it's math.
The author may be different.
No, same author, new edition.
yeah.
So you flip to page 20, it's the same thing on both.
Oh yeah, and you
What
can't
the
just,
hell's
like,
wrong
get a
with it?
used one anymore.
Yeah,
have to get a new one.
so we had the used college bookstore. So you could buy them new, or you can go to the used college bookstore and you get lucky, find it for a quarter of the price.
Mm-hmm.
But if they changed the edition, you had to have the new one. You had to go to the bookstore, the main bookstore, and buy the brand new $75 book. And you're like, and then you're going to sell it you're going to get $20 for it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And now they have them on your iPads, or you can have them on your iPads or on your computer.
Yeah.
And they're still charging $80-$90 for that book. I was like, that's a scam.
Even then, like now, you can rent the book for like the duration of your semester.
That's another
of your
bullshit.
course.
Yeah, you
And,
can.
it's slightly cheaper than you actually buying the book.
Slightly.
But then it
Slightly
locks it out
cheaper.
when you're done.
Yeah, it
You
locks
don't
out
get
when you're
it back.
done. You don't get it back.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, I paid for that book. I want the book.
Well, yeah. You can always just screenshot each page if you want to waste an afternoon.
Probably waste more than that, depending on how thick that book is. And you get that. You're going to waste a week.
Because they
Oh, yeah.
also don't let you download it, of course, either.
Yeah.
No, you
It's not
can't.
for
You can't.
privacy.
It's only accessible
the 7
through the
Cs.
website,
Yeah.
Oh,
through the
yeah.
college website, like Coursera or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I've had a few classes though where the professor will just like give us a downloadable PDF, and that is so nice.
That's nice.
You get a press that does that.
Forward-thinking
That's great.
professors.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But
But-
I like, there's something about the actual book because they've done studies. You don't retain information as well off a computer screen as you do with an actual physical book. It's not the same level of retention. So that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it where I read books on my Kindle, on my iPad, because it's easier than having 1,000 books on the wall.
Mhm.
But I don't retain nearly as well. I really like the original book, the actual physical paper. I really enjoy that. It's just not practical these days to have a whole wall full of books. But
Yeah.
honestly, I used to have. You remember the old bookshelves full of books?
I
upstairs?
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I preferred the books.
Yeah.
But going to a bookstore, ordering off Amazon, because if you remember, that's how Amazon started,
Yeah.
online bookstore.
Yep.
And that was in the late 90s, if I recall, when they started that. And I ordered a few books off them that way, and it would take a couple weeks to get in. It wasn't overnight like it is now. Amazon spoiled all of us, especially when we live 10 minutes from a massive Amazon warehouse. I usually have my shit within 24 hours.
Yeah.
I start throwing a fit at 48. So we have gotten spoiled on a few things. It's not like the old days. You ordered something out of a catalog. It was going to take 4 to 6 weeks to get there. It really was. So we all got a little spoiled now.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So, well, Blackjack,
Oh yeah.
glad you were here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, did you enjoy it?
I had a great time.
Well, that's all that matters. J-Man, do you think we should have him back?
Yeah, sure.
I think, and you should probably bring another college student with you. I'd love to get someone's take.
Oh yeah, because like you said, I mean, it's good. It's good to have the perspective. It's honestly, it's needed because I mean, it's gonna move. Time's gonna move on,
Yeah.
right? So it's just nice to just to see like
Mhm.
what somebody, and who knows, maybe somebody could like reveal a negative experience with law enforcement because I know there's plenty out there.
There are.
And then it's just kind of like to like analyze and like say, okay, that officer shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z, or this was done because of this, this, and this, and it was kind of interpreted the wrong way.
We know as well as I know as well as you know as well as I do that a lot of that is self-induced. You did something stupid and got their attention, and then you wanted to do this and play, non-bar licensed lawyer.
Oh, that's what I was getting at earlier too. You don't really see the college police unless if you did something stupid and they have to like come to you.
Yeah, because you did something stupid. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I remember chasing a student, vehicle evading, chasing him up UTSA Boulevard, and he pulled into the college. And he thought he was home free because he's on campus. So I couldn't get him out of the car. No, you can't. I'm on campus. Oh, okay. About to find out wrong. And about that time, the college police pulled up, and he was screaming, "He can't arrest me!" And they're like, "Yeah, he can. he can.
Yeah,
This is That's not all the Oxenfree.
The home base, like
Yeah, no. And so I opened the door, yanked his ass out, and cuffed him, and he screamed, "No, we're on campus. I don't know what to tell you. Your campus is inside my county. So sorry about your luck, Chuck." And he threw a wall-eyed fit, screaming at the university cops to help him out, and they're just standing there staring at him like, "We can't help you." And then he filed a complaint and went absolutely nowhere. So yeah, that kind of crap happens routinely. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm glad you're here today. Brothers, sisters, our listeners, I know this isn't our normal show that you're used to, and but we're hoping maybe you still got somebody who at least enjoyed it, or put in your ear and do something else, pass the time on commuting or whatever.
Yeah.
But
for this demonetized episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not monetized anyway, but
We're not monetized anyway, and I don't expect us to ever be monetized. So you know what? I'm gonna exercise my First Amendment right to say whatever the fuck I want.
Well, maybe not here. I'm not sure I want to be associated with. There might be certain things I don't want to be associated with.
Sorry, you're in now. You're in it now.
I got to commit to the bit now.
I just screwed him out of a multi six-figure job.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, bud.
Oh, yeah. But I'm clinking a can on the side of the road. I'll be sure to thank you.
Well, you can always sell your ass. So
Yeah, well, no, thank you. No, I don't swing that way.
OnlyFans. Hey,
Not-
look, $20, $20. Well, these days inflation, $50, $50. So, brothers and sisters, again, like always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Never stop learning, never stop training. Be careful everything you do. Our civilian listeners, hope you enjoyed the show. You got any suggestions? Email us at runandcode2023@gmail.com. That's RUNNINCODE or RUNNCINCODE 2023@gmail.com. Leave us comments too on the videos on YouTube. We will respond to them, and we do respond to emails. If anybody just have a sack enough to email us, I'm not going to bite you. So, J-Man, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Blackjack, got anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, from all of us here at Running Code in South Texas, we're out of here.